Hello friends, in this tutorial we'll study about data-driven framework in Selenium, how to write a data-driven framework, and the key points would be what is data-driven framework, when to use data-driven framework, create test data for test script, write DataProvider to pass data to our script. So what is a data-driven framework? As the name itself says, data-driven framework, a framework which is driven by data or totally dependent on data. So the next point is when we can use DataProvider. This data-driven framework. As such, there is no hard and fast rule, but the best example is suppose where we have a test case which we need to execute multiple times for same set of data. In that kind of situation, we can use data-driven framework. So in the same test script, we can pass the data, like different types of data every time. So for that, we need to write a script. The fourth point was like here, write DataProvider. So we'll in this tutorial we'll see how we can pass the data through DataProvider to our test. Then in next tutorial we'll cover like how we can pass the data from Excel sheet to our test script. Okay, so now let's go to Selenium where we can write our test script. Let's go new. Sorry. So let me tell you, let's create a Java project first. So I'm creating this offer up project. We'll write a data-driven framework where I'll let you know. So this is the site offer up where you can sell or purchase your stuff. So we'll test the login functionality of this offer up site, offer up now site, where we'll pass different set of data, like we'll pass 2-3 records. Out of those, one valid credential will pass, and for that valid credential the test script should work fine, and for invalid credentials it should show the invalid error message. Okay, so this is the URL I just want to show you. Okay, so this is offerup.com, and once we'll click on login, here we'll pass the email and password, and then we'll click on sign in button. We'll check the sign in functionality for this offer up site. Okay, so this one is our project. Now let's go, we'll give me a package here. Now in this we can create new class. So so since we are going to use Selenium 3.0, so we need to import the jar files. So let's import the jar files. Right click here, build path, let's configure build path, and then click on libraries. As you already know, like we imported those jar files number of times, so you can import all the jar files from your system. Apply. Okay, so now we can see that referenced libraries folder, it means all the jar files have been included. Now since we are going to use test-ng, so we need to import that library as well. So build path, configure build path, and then libraries, go to add libraries, test-ng. Next, right? Finish. Okay. So you can see here test-ng library. Now in this class we'll write our test script or test method where we can use that, like that will be the main logic of our framework. So no, I must say give a name to this function. So now let's say this is our first test, and we use the annotation since we are not using the main method. So just to let the program know, or the compiler know, like from where we'll start execution. So this will start from this annotation, so we need to import that annotation. Make sure this is test ng annotation, right? So this is imported now. First we need to create WebDriver. So let's import this. And I know you are already aware about these steps because we have done that number of times. So let's try to let me maximize that window. So now after maximizing, let's open the URL. Okay, so the URL would be, we can go here and check. So this will be the URL. Once we'll enter the URL, we can wait for some time. So let's wait for 5 seconds, or I must say 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Done. So once we wait here, now we need to identify the web elements for this email ID and password, so that we can pass the values. So let's see. Click on here. So this email address. So ID is either we can go with this XPath or the ID, right? So let me use an ID. String name ID is this dot send keys. So we need to enter the some value, so we use send keys. So let's leave this blank since we pass the value through our script instead of manual entry, right? So now this is for password field. It's ID password. Okay, in the same way, we'll leave it blank for the time. So now we click on that button, keyword here the it's showing value, so we'll go with X path instead of that. So instead of here we can use y.x path. So how this is, we'll click here, we'll wait for some time. Try to sleep. And we'll wait for 5 seconds. So it will throw an exception. Now we are all set. Now we can print the title. After login on the console, so then we can fit the driver. So now we have wrote the test script. Now we'll write a method or data provider which will pass the value to our test script. Okay. Here now I'll let you know why I took the return type as object. Okay, so return type is 2-dimensional array. Why? Because at the same time we need to pass the username and password, and the return type is object because I can say either it is a string or like integer or double, right? But in that case, if I'll use string, then only string type of values we can pass. If it's integer, then integer type of values we can pass. In case of object, we can pass any value because as we know, like in username we can use like numbers, string or characters, any kind of like some special characters. In password we can use, right? So that's why I'm using object as a return type for this method, right? So let's give this as annotation. So this annotation, let's import this annotation from test.ng. Okay, make sure. Okay, now let's give this as a name. So once we are here, then we need to declare this array, 2-dimensional array. So it's so here we are declaring that array. So we'll take 2-dimensional array which would contain 3 rows and 2 columns. So this one indicates rows and this one indicates columns. Okay, and then after declaring or creating this array, we need to initialize the values, right? So here how this, okay, before initializing we'll see how this will render in the memory. So let's open paint. And in paint you can see So it will render like this in the memory. So this column will be as username and this column will be as password, and how the data values will render. So now we'll have 3 records with two values: username, password, username, password, username, password. And here the array will render like 0 0, first row, first column, because in array indexing is starting from 0, so that's why it's indicating first row, first column, and first row, second column. Okay, in the same way here we can see array, only the first row index will change, column will be 0, and in the same way here we can see array arrow, right? In the same way for the third row, the index row index will change and the column will be same, like for this 0 it will be 2 0 and 2 1. Okay, so in the memory it will render like this. So let's initialize the values. Okay, 0 equal to it's first row, first column, so 0 0, then array, first row, second column, we will pass the password, okay. So I'll put or initialize 3 values here. So if you want to record here, okay, let's change the index first. And 1. Okay, so here we can change this just 2, 4. Okay. So out of these 3 records, only 1 record is correct. For that, we should be able to log in successfully with our test script, right? So once we have initialized the values, we can return this array. Okay. So now we are all set. We can declare, or we can initialize, or we can create any number of records in this array. We can just like during initialization of the array, we can change this index. If we want 4 rows, 2 columns, 5 rows, 2 columns, like we can add any number of records, but for testing purpose we'll take these 3 records. Now first, when the execution will start, the cursor will come here. How it will get to know like its dependence, that execution is dependent on this data provider. So for that, we need to provide here, or mention here, data provider equal to the name of this data provider. So now when the execution will start, the so then it will see like, okay, this test is dependent on this data provider, so the focus will directly come over here. It will initialize this array here. No, it will declare this array. So this is declaration part, this one is initialization part. Then it will initialize the values, and then it will return the array, and then again the focus will come here. The execution will start of the main test script. Okay, so now once it is sending the data, then we need to receive that data as well, right? If we will not receive the data, then how we can use in this test script? So here let's use that string string uname, string pwd, okay, or pa password. Okay, so we are now we are receiving these two records, so we can send these values here, uname and okay. So now we are ready, we can try the execution. So here you can see side by side execution. We can see here the this, so it's executed for all those three records, but here it's showing pass for all three records. Why? Because we didn't use any validation here, right? So here you can see the script executed 3 times. First time login offer up, that failed actually, login failed because that was not correct. Second time also login failed, and third time it's showing offer up, right? So it's showing the title of that one after login, right? So here the script ran 3 times, but it's showing failure 0 and like execution 3 times. So if you want to see like the correct results, like it should show pass for the correct one and then fail for the other ones, the invalid credentials, then we need to use assertion. So okay, let's use this one. So here we can use the assertion, assert dot assert true. So make sure we need to use which is coming from test ng, so this one, okay. And here we can use the condition driver dot get title dot contains, and contains, you can see in the execution it was showing, sorry I closed that one, it was showing my offer. So here I can show you it's showing login offer up, but if we log in with the correct credential, so here it will change the title. So see, it's containing my offers, so we can use the same string. Let's put my offers, I'll use that here, my offers, okay. So and then instead of here we can print so so it will show this message. But if somehow validation or the assertion is failed, right, if it's not matching, then we can print the error message here. Sorry, invalid credentials. Okay, so you can give anything using this string. Okay, so now then, instead of using this quit here, we can do one thing. We can write one annotation. After method, let's go to this. Okay, so we can write so we can give any name, close browser window. Okay, so we can give any name to this method. Okay, so let's and we can X now. Okay, so it's showing the error. Why? Because this web driver is limited to this method, so we can declare this outside this method to keep in the scope of this class, so that all the methods of this class can use that. And now you can remove this one, otherwise it will show you null pointer exception. Okay, now it's a public one. Okay, and you can use this one. So let's run the script one more time. Hope this will work fine. Okay, so we can see the execution here. In test ng, it will show the results side by side. So first time, now it's showing failed. Okay, second time also it will fail, and third time it got passed. Right, now it's showing the correct results. Okay, so here for this test result, you can see this is showing the assertion and the method here. Sorry, invalid credential. Right, for the field one, each failure exception is showing here. Okay, so now you can see here it ran 3 times and failure 2 times. Right, so here it's showing the complete thing. It's writing the error message here. It's just an error, sorry, invalid credential. First time this one, second time this one, and third time for the third record it passed actually. Right, so so we are done. Hope you got this, and if you didn't get this, then please go through with the test script 2 to 3 times, and then try it with one of your try writing this 3 to 4 times. So you can use any of the your favorite site or anything where you want to log in, where you want to check the login functionality. So hope this would help you to understand how we can get the data from the data provider in our test script. And then in the next framework, we'll see how we can see the data, or how we can get the data from the Excel sheet. Thank you guys, see you.